Howdy ho there, guys and gals. I'm Red, and we're back with Wednesday's live stream. Let's see how everyone filters in here today. Hope everyone's having a good week here. Dreamin', man, you are always on top of things. Hey there, Doug. Ford. Hey, Ford with the new logo. Check him out. How's everyone doing? What's up there? So we're going back to the old format. As you may have noticed here, Red's got the old chat window over here going on. Now, YouTube again said that it's going to have the chat window up. So you guys let me know if the chat window is getting in front of YouTube's chat window. It's supposed to be there, but when I looked at the recordings before, it wasn't showing up. Fear of copyright. Yeah, you gotta be careful, especially here on the twos, man. They are all about that. Tools and boats, that's right. Hey there, just to get this thing started. So, if you guys, for those of you who didn't see the video on Monday, so we're going to be doing a collaboration video here with the folks over on sailing boat SV Zangaro. I guess that's kind of redundant. SV stands for sailing vessel. And we, James and I were doing having a discussion about what's the best, all-around tool. I used to be a sailor from back in the day and plan to do so again here. And and of course, he's on his boat there, a 37-foot spindrift, and he's sailing around. And we thought, they're kind of the same tool set, no pun intended. And you got limited space. When we were traveling, we were on the road for 6 months last year in that RV, and that may sound pretty big, but you get 5 people and a dog in that, and it's not the biggest thing in the world. And so, I had my whole, shop of tools, and I could only bring so much with me. And I did bring, quite a bit of stuff, and it ended up being, taking up one whole storage locker underneath the RV. And I always thought, there could have been a way to do it better. So after, he and I talking, we started talking about the multi-tools, and oscillating multi-tools are great. Don't get me wrong, I've used one in a pinch to have to cut down a 4x8 sheet of plywood. They can do all sorts of stuff, and they're great for like plunge cutting and detail cutting and all that sort of thing. But when I was talking with him, all of a sudden it hit me that, wow, that rigid one, there, because it's got the interchangeable heads there, that's got to be the ultimate of ultimate, power tools for all-in-one. So there, put an image there so you can see that's the RV we were traveling in. There's the missus and the little girl. That's in, where are we at? Right at the border of South Dakota and headed into North Dakota. So anyway, the whole idea was that, with one of these Job Max, not only do you have the power of a multi-tool, David Rocker hitting it hard with the super chat. Awesome, way to go. And as I was saying, so all these super chat funds, we're going to be doing a couple of videos. I'm going to be buying the tool here and doing some projects on the RV with it and showing what can be done. And then I'm going to be handing it off to him over on SV Zangaro. He's going to be in the States for a couple weeks, 1st of April, and then he's going to take it with him, on the ocean. And as I said, if this thing can handle, working on an RV and working on the road and handle, the sea salt, the spray, boat life, man, nothing destroys, materials and tools like being on salt water. And I think this will be the ultimate tool or ultimate test of the ultimate tool. And for the next 2 weeks, all funds raised are going to go towards purchasing one of these Job Max tools and as many tool heads as we can get. The tool itself is about $100. And each tool head's like $40 to $50. So anything we can get above $100 is going to be for purchasing additional tools. I'm also talking with a couple sponsors that may come in to sponsor this, but if so, great. And then we'll put the funds towards even more cool tools and stuff. But until that happens, this is the plan. So if you guys, if you can help out, that's awesome. If not, the bear understands, but we all get in tight spots and stuff. But if you hit that that super chat button there, down below the chat window, the one little dollar sign, as I said, those funds are going to go help me make cool videos for you. I'm really excited about playing with these things. They've got, what do they got? The jigsaw head, impact driver head, reciprocating saw head, and also the one I'm really interested in is that rotating cutting head. It's kind of like one you'd see for cutting on drywall, but James and I think it just work like a hot knife through butter on that fiberglass. So anyway, back to your questions here. As long as he doesn't do that Flex Seal thing on the boat. Dude, I will tell you what, in my RV, Flex Seal is the man. When we got it, we got it used, and we had some serious leaks in the shower area. And I went to town with some Flex Seal, and it sealed the deal. I've used it for all sorts of stuff. On the trailer, that utility trailer, I've used black Flex Seal on half the trailer, and I used what is it? The Rust-Oleum's knockoff version of Rhino lining on the other side. And I'll assume that the Flex Seal, you think it's gonna be like super duper soft and it would come off real easily, but if you let it cure, if it like sets up for like a week, it's tough. It's tough stuff. And it can take a hit without cracking like paint will. You get a hard acrylic on there, it'll just chip off, and the Flex Seal will take those rocks and they'll bounce off of it. People said it wouldn't work, but I've had it on there now. I've had that trailer for 2.5 years, and I've driven all the way. I've done Arizona to Montana. I've done hot to cold. I mean, I live in Vegas. We had 120-degree heat last year. It's still there. We were in West Yellowstone. It was, in the teens, and that stuff's still holding on. So I would say, I hate to be a fanboy, but I'm only a fanboy when something earns it. That's when I say that, then I'm a fanboy. But I'm not a fanboy just to be a fan. Let's see here. Still got the Stealth Weed Bear. Matt Harris with the $10. Lots of bears up here in New Hampshire. Probably my relatives. Those East Coast bears. My sister went to college up in New Hampshire. I think that's some of the most beautiful country in the U.S. during the summer. FYI, I have the Vulcan multi-process welder, and it's amazing. Guys, I keep saying, some people were talking about Chucky says, oh, Chucky says it doesn't get... Man, take Chucky with a grain of salt. He's a good kid, but he doesn't, know everything. And I always say I don't know everything, but at least I say it, Sorry. Anyway, back to what Dreamer was saying. He's got the weed whacker for $70, but the manager knocked it down for $30. How'd you manage that? Was it one of the sale items, or? Do I think Harbor Freight will be able to challenge Lowe's or Home Depot on tool sales? What do you mean, be able to? They already do. Harbor Freight has already taken out a huge chunk of the sales at Home Depot and Lowe's. And if you don't believe that, then look at them coming up with all those new discount brands, with the Blue Hawk and the other discount brands that they have. Jack Waddell, oh, $2. You're awesome, Jack. Every dollar helps, man. And as I said, all the money you donate, it's not like I'm living on that, living large here in Vegas, going down to the casinos, betting on black. They don't have brown, Why can't I bet on brown? No, there's all going to, buy new tools and stuff. In fact, for you guys here in the live chat, I was going to give you a sneak peek, but I can at least tell you about it. I got an adapter for my grinder that turns it into a mini chainsaw. And This Friday we're doing chainsaw versus katana. Okay, it's a wood katana. But I don't know how practical this thing's going to be, but it was cheap and it looked like stupid kind of fun. And the Bear's always down for some stupid fun. You don't always have to be serious, you know. Tools are tools, but you can have some fun with it. Let's see here. What was that? A machinist, but not a pro welder. Well, you know, Matt, maybe you can help me out with something. I'm talking to somebody about doing a video on a review of a product they have that is a voltmeter and what do you call it? Thermal imaging device at the same time, so you can check voltage as well as heat as it's going through the wires. And they said it's designed primarily for machinists, so maybe when I get that I might have to ping you for some help with it. John Corbett with the $2. You rock on, man. You guys are awesome. As I always say, we have the best, you know, best community on here. I will say it now. I'll say it every time. I don't care how many viewers we have, just as long as they're wanting to be part of the community, because it's all about, you know, people exchanging ideas and exchanging information. And, you know, I'm not up here just to hear myself talk. I like interacting with you guys and hearing, and you guys, you know, who was it? Was it Dreamin'? Was it you? Somebody said, you know, hey, we want that Tractor Supply video. And I'm like, okay, I've been putting it off. We'll do the Tractor Supply video. You guys tell me what you want to see, and I'll make it happen. It was listed for $75. No deals to free piano you got 2 years ago. You know, I got a piano for $25 one time. It was they were closing down schools. I picked up one of those school pianos at an auction. It cost me more to get it home than it did to buy it. Where do I get the bear animation from? Well, a couple shots of bourbon before the show really helps get me animated, I gotta say. No, I don't drink and live stream. That's drinking, kids. Drinking and live streaming is dangerous and it can kill. I should do a public service announcement on that. Wow, yeah. Cheaper than the Craftsman and the Cobalt. Yeah, you know, I'm a little disappointed in Cobalt. I've been reaching out to them going, hey, my viewers want to see more stuff. And I guess they don't care about sending it, so. After Hurricane Irma, we don't have a couple trees left in the yard. Full of burritos. Well, just rub it in, man. Bear's getting hungry over here. Drinking scotch. We don't drink scotch in the den. We're bourbon drinkers, you know. We're Americans. You drink American whiskey. That's the rules in the den. Yeah. You know what it is as a kid, I spent so much time, my mother was really into gardening and stuff for a while, and I spent so much time in the home and garden sections, and it smells like peat moss. And then as I got older and started drinking and tried scotch, I'm like, it tastes just like the home and garden department smells. So I'm going to pass on that. He gave the new Harbor Freight angle grinder a thumbs up. I know lots of people give the old Harbor Freight grinder a thumbs up. You know, that's the one thing, guys. You got to look on the box and see what the runtime is on it. They'll give it as a percentage. So if it's like 20%, that means for every 10 minutes you can run it straight for 2. If you go over that, that just means the cooling on the motor isn't designed to handle it. Riding the Craftsman train to the bottom. Oh, that's harsh, but so true, man. If you can find the good deals on that, I mean, they're great tools. There's just no doubt about it. They're good, solid tools, but they've always been overpriced with that Sears surcharge on them, and that's probably what has mostly killed Sears. Urban Cabin, there he is. Nice to see you. Hey guys, I want to give everyone here a tip. I try to remember names. The bear's not good with names. I am horrible. I'm a bad bear. I swear I'm a bad bear. And but what I'm good at is I remember faces and images. I have a visual kind of memory. You guys should take the time and change your images, your icons. Like take a pic or draw a little picture or find something to do and you know, that it makes it easier to reference you guys on here. So if you're going to be a regular, do that, and it'll be easier for the bear to figure out who you are. I know I'm sad. I'm a sad bear, but you know, getting old and the memory just ain't what it used to be. What was I talking about? Oh yeah. Pittsburgh Pro, I would not be surprised if they're phasing out a lot of the old lines, or if they're going to at least make them smaller as they're coming up with these new pseudo-prosumer lines. Don't eat the yellow snow. That's a husky comment, you know. We just don't eat the yellow huskies. I mean, Pittsburgh Pro, they're great tools, and if they get cheaper, I would scoop up as many as I can. I like them. They may not have the, you know, the handle, like on the handle, you compare a Pittsburgh Pro to one of the good quality Craftsman ones, it's not quite as nice, but it does the job. I mean, you're turning a wrench or you're turning a nut. Does the nut really care what your tool looks like? Is it dressed properly? No. Why pop? Call me Porky. Dibba 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 da. That's all, folks. That's as close as I can do a Porky imitation. Some pity, name trouble. Is it the bear's got to get his glasses? It's so small. Does the bear follow slickdeals.net? You know, I haven't really gotten into Slick Deals. I used to follow Fat Wallet a whole bunch. But that was a while ago, and that's when I lived in the SF Bay area. There was a lot more deals and stuff that they would post that were easier to have. I know Slick Deals is much the same sort of thing. I think I've got an account on there. I've posted there before, but it's not something I'm like on all the time. Usually around Black Friday. I'll check them out on Black Friday. Because now that Fat Wallet's gone. A decent milling machine. You know, they've got 3 milling machines, right? They've got a mini mill, a medium-sized mill, and a decent-sized one. And from everything I've heard, they're not bad. But, you know, you're a machinist, so they're probably not up to your snuff. You know, for me, for the, you know, the DIY bear type, you know, homeowner sort, they're probably more than good enough. Once broke your hand, yeah, I mean, there are some super cheap stuff. I had an AutoZone ratchet that I once actually bent. Now, that was 25 going on 30 years ago. And yeah, AutoZone has been around that long. Love my reviews. Thank you. Thank you. You know, it feels good to hear that, you know, showering the bear in praise, you know. Oh, it's a good bear, you know. No, I'm glad you like the reviews. I like to keep my views pragmatic, down to earth, and what the average person, you know, would see about it. I don't consider myself a expert on many things. I know more than the average bear, and I'm really good at analytical thinking and review process. It's what I've done for a living, essentially, for the past 20 years, is reviewing specs and analyzing quality for different purchases and stuff as an operations officer for a tech company. So, you know, it's just applying the same thing from tech to tools. And I've been when I was in college, I used to rehab houses. That's how I got started in the whole tool kind of thing. How do I feel about channels that don't give shout outs for your channel? You mean like my channel, like channels that, or channels that won't give out shout outs for their viewers. If channels that won't give shout outs for viewers who are active, that's not cool. But I mean, you gotta support the community. It's all about the people around you. You know, if you're just there to be a talking head, then that's what's going to happen. But a home freight super for work I go. Yeah, well, I can't pronounce that. Me too, Tui. That's, yeah. Well, as I said, you're a machinist, and you can probably afford that. the bear can't. I mean, they're great tools, but that's a bit much. He saw my comment. The bear sees all. Just ask my cubs. Isn't that right, guys?
Yeah, sure.
Daddy sees all. As far as they know. Oh, the map behind me. You know, thanks for asking. I should have said that. Let me get rid of this other image up here. So we were talking about SV Zingaro. And sorry, guys, the chat window is going to go away for a second. There it is. So that has been the path that the sailing vessel, the Zingaro, has been sailing for the past year. He went down from Florida. He hit Cuba, around Cuba, down to Grand Cayman, off Cayman over to Mexico. Somewhere in there, he hit a reef. And there's some great videos. If you want to learn how to do fiberglass and that kind of repair, he's got some great videos on his channel about that. Comes back, southern Cuba, down to Jamaica. Oddly, no videos from Jamaica for some reason. Hold on, Crim Ferret says, as for the HV lathes and milling machines, keep an eye out for the ones they're selling similar ones. They often come with some extras for the same price. Oh, cool. The HF ad does not say bear tested. That'd be cool if it did. So anyway, they sailed from there. They down to South America, over to Panama. They went through the Panama Canal recently, and they're lying in the islands off of Panama. So, I mean, as a sailor, the best I've done is I've done Drake's Passage, which is over in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Whoop, that's the RV. Let me put the chat window back up. And you know what? While we're here, again, super chat, guys. Any super chat donations go help the bear purchase one of the JobMax rigid tools, so that I can then do a test. You know, we're gonna do best one for the road. You know, a la my RV, the 33-foot. We kind of named it the Dakota, and then I'm gonna hand it off to James, and he's gonna do it on his boat there. He actually was tempted to change the name of his boat to Sharky McSharkface, but no, it's the Zingaro, which I believe is, I don't know if it's Italian or something, but it means gypsy. So I'm gonna go broke saving money. Yeah, I know all about that. Mark, you're late. You have to go sit in the corner now. Just kidding. Hyper tough table from Walmart. You know, I've seen that, and that looks kind of interesting. There's a couple of those kind of tables I've been thinking about getting. It's always nice to have a little pop-up table when you need a little extra space. Beats us not have 4 tools. Oh, you know, that's another video I was thinking about doing. What do you think about the bear doing a video of comparing all the free items you can get from Harbor Freight? I was thinking about spending a couple months and just collecting every single free item, and in one video doing an unboxing of all the free stuff you can get and comparing like what's the best value, so that when it comes up and you've got some free coupons, you know what to get. He's in the dark office on the other side of the house, lurking in the dark. Oh, don't tell us what you're doing over there. Jeff Nate with $5. You're the man, Jeff. Thank you so much. Well, I'm really looking forward to, I got some real projects over there on the RV. You know, we're actually planning to, we're thinking about renting it out. There's a couple services. They're kind of like Airbnb for RVs. And Let's see here. I'll give you a different view of it. There it is. So it's a Fleetwood Flare 33R, so it's just under 33 feet. It's got all that storage underneath, which is really awesome. The bedroom has a slide out, and it's got a walk around bed, and the living room has a slide out that takes the bed, the couch and the dinette further out. It has a lot of living space in it. You know, as I said, for a family of 5 plus a dog, we spent 6 months in it. It needed to be aired out after that, but it was pretty cool. The microfibers. Have you not had a problem with the microfiber cloths with them leaving little residue wispies all over the place? That's always been an issue for me with those microfiber cloths. Home Depot versus Lowe's versus H. Matt, thank you for mentioning that. I don't know if you were the one who mentioned it before. Somebody else mentioned it before, and you know what? We'll do that for Monday. We'll do the HD versus Lowe's versus Harbor Freight and what they're good for. That'll be the Monday video, all right? Office junk room could be on Criminal Minds. Yeah, that's what our old office used to be like. Yeah, best value and free stuff. What not to buy? RB well, it'd probably be worse if I rent it, but you can make quite a bit of money renting them, and it's just sitting there doing nothing. We bought it used, so. Let's see, Iron Husky. Somebody mentioned something before about the Husky cabinets. Sorry. I missed the comment. If you had a question about it, I missed. I'm really sorry. You could post it again here. Good for cleaning guns. That's not a bad idea. Tony says he has the magnetic parts ball. I have like a dozen of those things. I put one at every workstation in my garage. Thinking about buying. This is not HF. Don't buy the 12-foot 10-gauge booster cables. Do buy the 16-foot 6-gauge heavy star booster. Yeah, you know, that would be a good video, is telling people how jumper cables work and why quality jumper cables are important. Oh, that's a good one. Andrew said, do a video on how to talk to managers and get extra special discounts. Well, my key is, you know, you find the cute, good-looking female ones, you're like, how you doing? Nah. They're just like, you know, I just try to be genuine. I'm like, and then just come up to them like, you know, are there any deals or anything going on that I don't know about? Maybe anything I could help take off your hands? Dan says, want to make a camper van hit the road. Have you seen, there's a guy in Vegas, and I always forget his name, and he does, he's got a Ford van, camper van thing. Does anybody remember what his name is? And you know what? He always hits up the same Harbor Freight I do. Walter White is looking for an RV. I'm the one that knocks. You'd have to see the show if you don't get the reference. Yep. He's right. John said, sign up for at Lowe's. As a vet, you get 10%. Home Depot used to do that, and they've kind of backed away from it, but Lowe's is still strong with supporting our vets. When's the Hercules miter saw review going to be out? I don't know if I'm going to do one. At $400, I mean, for the latest sale, it's all of $20 off. Unless Harbor Freight sends me one, or you guys really chip in with the super chat so I can afford it, I don't see me, you know, spending, you know, almost $400 to review a tool that I could get, you know, I could get the DeWalt for $350, or I can just be happy with the Chicago Electric that I have. I wish I had the money to just buy tools like that to review them, but we don't. Maybe when the channel gets bigger and we get more Patreon supports come in. Oh, let's talk about that. Don't forget, you could join on. Well, I just screwed that one up, didn't I? Don't look. There you go. Don't forget, sign up with Patreon. Black Bear memberships for as low as $1 a month, all the way up to Brown Bear, White Bear, Silver Bear, Gold Bear, and Platinum Bear. Okay, I don't really have any Platinum Bears or expect any Gold or Platinum Bears, but, you know, if you want to, no one's going to stop you. Oh, that's the RV. Oh, I was going to show you the RV. That's the floor plan for the RV I was talking about before. Explorer Steve, that's it, Dan. Yeah, Explorer Steve. He's a fun guy to watch. Now I just got rid of the chat window. Man, the bear is just all over the place today. There we go. We're back. Good grief. Yeah, $10 wall. Yeah, don't try that. Ever. You are the danger. Welcome to the danger zone. Don't look directly at it. As you don't look into the light. Doesn't Lowe's also do a 5% on everything? I'm not sure about that one. Rick Adkins coming back with the $2 super chat. Woohoo! I still gotta get that bell. You gotta cowbell. I need a ship's bell. That's what I need. I need a ship's bell so I can ring it every time we get a super chat. You're awesome, Rick. Thank you so much. That's going into the kitty to help purchase the Job Max for the best tool for the road and best tool for the sea video series we're doing with SV Zingaro. If you're signed up for Lowe's accounts, they sent $5 coupons in the mail, or 5%, yeah, $5 coupons. Some brand limitations. I have a Lowe's card, so I'm sure they probably sent me one. With their charge card, they do 5%. Really? Because I have their charge card. I'll have to look at that. You can get a cowbell at Harbor Freight. You can, can't you? I forgot all about that. You know what I want to get? I want to get a... Harbor Freight sells, believe it or not, they sell a sextant. I could not believe it when I saw that they had a sextant. Harbor Freight's got some really cool oddball kind of things. Excuse me. It's like a cardigan. Hey, snap off. Snappy. You taking off? Anyway. The, it was 4:30. Okay, make sure we're not running over on time. Yeah, I'm going to teach the kids how to do star navigation. And I'm probably going to be picking up one of those sextants over there. I hope it doesn't fall apart. Lowe's has Cobalt, HD has Husky. You know, I like the Cobalt tools. I've always liked them. Sex what? Easy there. Stand down. Yeah, that Harbor Freight. How much is that thing? Let me see here. Oh, come on. The old Harbor Freight sextant. Brass. Ooh, it's brass too. I wonder if it's nautical brass. It's $20. You can't not try out a sextant for $20. I mean, that's a no-brainer. Let me see if I can show you guys what I'm talking about. Here we go. Brass sextant. Yeah, that's not overly complicated to use, is it? But man, can you believe that people sailed around the world in one of these? Or using these? Reminds me of the old joke, how much for a you know what? He said to the priest. He's like, same as downtown, $20. You don't want a brown bear sex tape. That's just not a good idea. I did check out the Harbor Freight. You're talking about the... Oh, not the official one. That other one. I thought I looked at it. I don't know. The bear's getting all confused these days. A Bermuda run. Oh, hell, Bermuda. You know, everyone confuses the Bahamas with the Bermuda. Going to the Bahamas is like going to the moon. Going to Bermuda is like going to Mars. It is out there in the middle, all by itself. You miss that thing and you're screwed. I have an app for that. Oh, Harbor Freight sex tape. I should do one of those. Yeah. Copy that. I'd get lots of views on that one. Hold on here. I'm trying to look something up for you guys. So, you know, and that made me think about it, talking about being out in the middle and using a sextant and stuff. If you guys are looking for a good movie to watch, the Bears got you covered here. This thing, Following Seas. This is a documentary, self-filmed by this family who in the early 60s, late 50s, early 60s, circumnavigated the globe 4 times. They did the following Cook around Antarctica. They did through what they call the warm circumnavigation, which is through the canals. They did the cold navigation around Antarctica. They did both horns. And then I think they did it again just for fun. And they did it on a 50-foot sailing boat. They wrecked it into a reef were stranded for 60 days in an atoll in I think it was French Polynesia, but it was in Polynesia at least. Were then rescued, moved down to New Zealand, built a ferrocement sailboat to the exact same specs, used all the hardware and even the engine they rescued. They salvaged off the old boat and then kept sailing around the world. These people are hardcore. You know, today we've got cell phones with GPS and we got global navigation and EPIRBs and all this stuff. And these guys had none of that. And they just did it. They just went. You know, everyone's like, oh, you can't do it. They did it. It's an amazing, very powerful movie to watch, and I cannot recommend it enough. All right, enough of that. Enough of Red's movie reviews. What am I smoking? Cohibas. That's the Bears' smoke of choice. To be honest, I only smoke a cigar probably about twice a year. Usually once around Christmas and usually once in the summer when we go on vacation. When we're on the road, I may have a few more when we stop. I like to have one when I'm in a really nice place and I want to relax and chill out and just enjoy the experience. There's nothing like sitting back with a nice cigar. A little bit of bourbon. It's a great time. Opinion on the HF sliding miter saws. Have you not seen my videos? Just teasing, man. I'm a huge fan of the 12-inch Chicago Electric sliding miter saw. For your average homeowner, it is more than enough saw for you. If you're doing really intricate cabinet work, you're going to need something better. If you're like, if you desperately need to have a, ultra high level of precision, you're going to need something better. Maybe like one of the Bosch or something. In fact, another great saw is the rigid 10-inch sliding miter saw. It was so good, they phased it out. People got so upset, they brought it back. But, I mean, that's still $350. For half that price, you can get, if you don't need that, the Harbor Freight is a great saw. And, people complain, oh, there's too much deflection and stuff. Well, you know what? If you watch what you're doing and you're cutting right and you're not being sloppy about it, it's not an issue. Have I seen the movie about the English flak towers of its own country? Oh, that's See Something. We just watched that. Hey, Bear. Yeah. What was the nation? What's the name of that country that's its own island nation? That's a sea nation. I don't know. We watched it. Yeah, we watched a video about it. Oh, he is no help. He's a bad bear. You're in timeout. Yeah, he believes me. Oh, it's going to kill me. Four times must have been using the HFC. Yeah, they just didn't know when to stop. New page. The bears here, thanks. No problem. Wait for your new icon to show up. Oh, yeah. Sealand. Mark with the win. Sealand, that's it. In fact, I think I may be a Duke of Sealand or something. Or one of those nations I sent away for, and they sent me the royalty kind of thing. I'm also an ordained minister with the New Life Church, so if any of you need to get married, at sea or otherwise, the bear is always happy to help. And I know I'm joking about it, but I actually have married 2 people. In fact, do you guys know the old video game E.T., like the worst video game ever? The guy who made that, he also made what was then the best video game ever at the time. He's a good friend of mine, and I was actually the minister for his wedding to his wife. And they're doing great, I have to say. What part of the globe is your island in? Sealand is off the coast of England. I think it's in the channel between England and France, if I'm not mistaken. If I were going to have my own island, it would be in the Caribbean. I mean, guys, come on. What's my website's name and my email? It's Redbeard. You know? I fell in love with the Caribbean early on as a kid. You know, growing up in landlocked Iowa and Nebraska and stuff, and down in Kentucky, you know, I read a lot of books about the high seas and sailing adventures and stuff. And just the idea of a boat, you could just step on a boat and just leave and go anywhere the wind takes you, was something that always, you know, caught my imagination. And I've been down the Caribbean 4 or 5 times now, and it is just heaven on earth for me. I'm actually going to do a video tomorrow. I'm going to do a bonus video for the parking lot sale. I'm going to do it earlier than the Friday video. So stay tuned for that one. I'm going to do a whole thing on it. The $20 Chicago Electric 4-inch angle grinder, sharpen up garden tools, cut rebar. Hasn't blown up. You know, I love it. And that's going to be doing that little chainsaw mod with my Chicago Electric grinder. Yeah, I heard about that. There were a couple people talking about using Sealand for software and video piracy stuff. Most weddings are with 2 people unless you've been to Utah. Or San Francisco, for that matter. There's enough poly stuff going on. I swear, you'd be hard-pressed to find anybody who's monogamous in San Francisco. Northern Tool. Martin, I do not. You know what? Thanks a lot. That's a good point. Thanks for bringing that up. Guys, I get a lot of questions like, have you reviewed Northern Tool? Have you done Rural King? Rural King, the closest Rural King to me is 1,500 miles. It would be inauthentic for me to do a review of the best of Rural King or the best of Northern Tool. But guys, I think some of you guys should step up and do a video. Do a walkthrough. Do a best of. You've seen how the bear does it. You can do one. And you post it on your channel. I'll link to it. If you don't have a channel, you don't want to post it, you know, send it to the bear. I'll upload it and you know, put your name on everything, and you can all do credit. And any of you want to pick out a store to do, I think that would be great. There's just no way for the bear to get to them unless somebody wants to buy me a ticket. No, I'm teasing. It would be, you know, the bear doesn't talk about stuff he doesn't honestly know about, or he hasn't had experience, or people that he trusts have had experience with. So, I think you guys should definitely do that. I would love to see that. Top places to visit for travel? Oh, man. Paris. There's nothing like it, man. Walking the streets of Paris, it's amazing. The Lake Tahoe, this is my favorite comparison. Lake Tahoe is water up in the mountains, and then the U.S. Virgin Islands, which are mountains down in the water. So those are two of my favorite places also. Gun show and Harbor Freight on your agenda. Yeah, that's the one thing I love about living in Vegas, man. If you miss the gun show, just wait. There's going to be another one in a week or so. There's always a gun show here. Marry a goat in SF. You know, and if they could get it to sign the consent form, they might try it, but I still can't get them to do that. You know what? Here's the deal about here's the truth about parking lot sales. You don't go for the sale themselves. You go for the return items, or better yet, the factory refurb items that they send out to the stores. Those, the open box stuff, that's the killer deal to get. And that's the stuff that, you know, on Friday, it's 20% off. On Saturday, it's another 10% off. And on Sunday, they're like, just get it gone. That's how I got that $700 engine for $100. That's still, by the way, sitting in my garage. If anybody wants one, let me know. And Mark called it, it's open box. That's the real reason to go. You know what, John? I'm a huge fan of that Harbor Freight recip saw, and I'm going to be doing a series of saw blade testing using it. The first power tool I ever bought as a young man was a Milwaukee Sawzall, and I once used it, you guys have probably all heard me say it more than once, to cut a house in half. And as soon as that back into that house fell off, I fell in love with reciprocal saws. But I think that HF recip saw is just fine. I mean, for 20 bucks, good grief. A new miter gauge for table saw. Any recommendations? You know what? Go on eBay and look for a Shopsmith. Shopsmith makes one of the best miter saws. It's got a clamping thing, so when you grip it, it presses down on the tool. It's in fact, Incra makes a copy of it that they sell. But if you can pick up one used for a deal, do it. They're great. I have never used the Milescraft jig, so I can't comment on that. I think it was Thomas that asked about that versus the Craig jigs. I like the Craig stuff. I don't like the Craig prices. Iron. Michael says their house brand, Northern Tools house brand, is called Iron Ton. Really? Iron Ton? Does that mean something I don't know? Antonio, ciao. See ya. Take care. Hopefully we'll see you next week. Definitely check out the video for tomorrow. Falcon there says his Harbor Freight never has open box or refurb. You know, some of them don't. Some of them don't get it because they all go back to a central office and they get sent back out usually, other than stuff that's just lying around. If you only have one Harbor Freight in your area, then you're kind of out of luck. I found that by searching around, you can find the Harbor Freights that are considered to be the elite ones by home office. So like there's 6 Harbor Freights in all of Vegas. And if you guys saw my video, the Bear and I, Little Bear, drove around one day and we hit all 6 during one of the parking lot sales. And now I'm fairly certain as to which one is the one that's going to have all the great deals. And I'm going to do a video of going to that one this weekend. I'll probably go to 2 because there's one pretty near my house. So I'll probably hit that one up also. Let's see here. I have to go. You shine on too there, Pop. Or Piggy Pop. People steal them. Oh, they steal the parts out of the tools? Out of the combo packs? Favorite 12-volt drill driver set brand? Rigid again? Yeah. It's hard to beat the Rigid. It's good quality. I would say it's 80 to 90% of the quality of even the better end tools, the Milwaukee and the DeWalt. But with that lifetime warranty, I mean, there's just no answer for that out there amongst the other tools. I should do another giveaway. You know, I didn't get much, comments from the last one. I bought 2 of those knives, actually. I bought 3. I'm keeping one. So I have another one of those knives. I could do that. Oh, Iron Ton. I get it. The Bear's slow today. But yeah, I could do another knife giveaway or maybe a tool giveaway. I could do a freebie. Let's do some Harbor Freight freebie giveaways. How about that? It would cost me more to send you the items. Well, so I feel bad for you guys who are, you know, kind of out of luck in the open box arena. Not like the bear can have much in the way of answers for you. Although, check out some of the other, tool places. The like Tractor Supply, Rural King, some of the non-standard tool stuff that still has tools. They have some great closeout deals, like those electric winches that I found for $30. I mean, wow, that was a screaming deal. Winter pay shipping. Yeah, that'll be real popular. What is my most used tool from Harbor Freight? Wow, that's a fine question. As far as power tools, it's got to be my sliding miter saw. I use that in almost every project. As far as hand tools, my ratchet set. I have a Pittsburgh Pro ratchet set that I like. But I don't know, I'm gonna have to. I'll keep an eyeball and kind of track that, and maybe I'll do a video of my most used tool. But I think it's got to be the sliding miter saw probably. 12 tape measures, 50 flashlights. I'm still waiting to see that flashlight show up. You know, that new one they have, the bendy one, the LED strip. There's supposed to be a baby brother version of it. I've seen the coupon posted in an online, or a picture of it at least, from a print one, but I haven't seen it in stores. A TSC across from Harbor Freight. You know, I was in California a couple weeks ago, and there was a TSC next door in the same strip mall adjacent to a Harbor Freight. I was like, I'm in heaven. Yeah, guys, gear wrench. Jack, thanks for mentioning that. And I forgot to say that specifically, but over at TSC, they've been having clearance on all their gear wrench items. And I've never used one, but everyone who has says that they're great. So I would say if you get a chance to check it out, do. I don't know if they're safe or not safe. It's the kind of thing that's kind of regulated, and it's not more expensive to make them really safe. I would imagine they are. I have some, but they're not good. The clarity on them is poor. I opened a pack and they were already like scuffed and stuff. I use DeWalt safety glasses. They're more comfortable, they don't fog up, and I don't have to worry about whether they're safe. The Braun is always sold out there. Really? That's odd. I had to get a new toolbox from Husky because I loaded mine with HF wrenches. Oh, hey, speaking of, that parking lot sale, that new rolling tool cart they have, with the one that comes in the 3 different colors, that's on sale for $150. The bear's going to be sorely tempted about getting one of those. They're purty. Is the Craftsman brand pretty much dead? Yes and no. Craftsman sold the brand to Stanley Tools, and Stanley is now going to be selling them. I think they're going to be showing up in Lowe's and Menards and maybe a couple other places. So they're going to be brought back to life, but I don't know if they're going to have the free lifetime warranty like they did before. I mean, as a kid, Craftsman was the one you bought because, at least that's what my grandpa told me, because I went with him a couple times. You bought the tool. If it broke, you walked in, you sat it down. They're like, yep, go get another one, and you left. And that was it. And the only place I've seen that's like that is Harbor Freight. I've literally walked in with a broken tool, handed it to him, grabbed another one, said thanks as I walked out, not even having to stand at the register and run through something or sign anything saying, I'm returning it, and I promise it's actually mine or something. Ear protection recommendations. Harbor Freight sells one. If I need some, I'm used to be a firearms instructor, so I have a bunch of gun-related hearing protection. So that's what I use. Ace Hardware does sell Craftsman. It's stupidly expensive, but they do. T5 LED shop lights. Hey, check out the video I have on making your own shop lights. It's cheap. It's a lot of fun. But to be honest, if you count in the amount of time it takes you, it's probably just as cheap to buy new ones. I'm hoping, actually what I'm hoping will happen is I'm hoping that they will ditch the Porter Cable Zombie brand that they have and replace it with Craftsman, but I don't know. Stanley is taking over the world when it comes to tools. And, I mean, they own so many different brands. I don't know how they justify all the different brands. Kmart owns Sears? Seriously? That's the first I heard of that. Oh, if you guys can hear that, sorry, there's a helicopter buzzing the house. 3 helicopters. Oh, it must be military coming out. Usually we'll get some tourist helicopters every so often headed over to Red Rock. But we also have the Air Force Base out here, so. Hey guys, we're at 56 minutes. Just going to remind you, where'd it go? All Super Chat proceeds go to funding the best tool for the Road and Sea video. We're trying to raise money to purchase these tools. Yep. It's going to be $100 to buy the basic tool, and then any money we get over that is going to be going towards purchasing additional power heads for it. So if you can spare $1 or $2 or 500 or whatever, hit the Super Chat button below and help the bear out. I'm going to be doing the video here, and then I'm going to be handing it off to James over on Sharky McSharkface. I mean, Esri Zingaro up there. And he's going to be testing it on the high seas to see if it can stand up to that saltwater conditions. Is this Goodfellas? Man, I love that scene. He's like, oh, are they after me? Are they? Yeah, Kmart's about done for. I almost never buy the extended warranty on anything because you're pretty much gambling that it's going to break. And I think that, you know, the only time I do it is if I'm looking to buy a tool where I wanted the better tool, but I couldn't afford it. But buying the cheaper tool with the extended warranty gives me the peace of mind that if it does break within X amount of time, it'll get replaced. As I said, it's not often. And from Harbor Freight, I wouldn't feel as bad because they're so good about returns. But every place else I've ever dealt with extended warranties, man, they just do everything they can to get out of it. Heck, the place I bought my RV, man, they just basically looked me straight in the face and like, oh, it's not covered. I'm like, it clearly says on the warranty that it is. And they're like, nope. They just flat out lie. Headed Area 51. Hey, for you guys who don't know, there's actually a whole fleet of airplanes at the airport in Vegas. They look like stubby 737s. They're white-ish. They're like off-white with a red stripe. And I was informed, there's like 7 of them parked there at any given time. And I was informed that they are shuttle planes, essentially, to Area 51. That they fly, because you're not allowed to drive in. So the people who work there, they drive to the airport. And you see these planes, they take off at a super high altitude. And they do a high kind of parabolic arc over the mountain range to the north. And land over there. It's spooky. Do I grease your own tools? Andrew, I'm sorry, but this is a family-friendly channel, and we don't talk about that sort of thing. No, I tease. For anything that uses grease, I'm a big fan of white lithium grease. And for you guys who don't know, WD-40 is not a lubricant, all right? It's a great all-around tool for all sorts of stuff and for short fixes, but it's not a long-term lubricant. White lithium grease is great because it doesn't pull in a lot of the gunk like other types of greases and lubricants do. The 5-inch bend grinder, and one stone was broken. Huh. Yeah, well, you never know what... I mean, remember, these tools are coming from China, and so they're on a boat for at least a month in the high seas. You guys would be surprised to know how many containers actually get lost and are floating around in the ocean. It's disturbing. John Corbin, come on, show the love. You rock, man. Thank you. Last minute. Come on, guys. We're at an hour. Got to wrap things up. Anybody else want to show that John's not the only one trying to help us out? I know. I'm giving you the guilt stuff. Built his own. Dream says he built his own toolbox, portable, wooden, real fun. Cool. You should post a video of something like that. That'd be cool to see. Water displacement. Okay, did I miss the chat where that was relevant? Did I miss something? Put the lotion on the skin. It puts the lotion on the skin. More like it pushes the super chat or it gets the hose again. Save the love for the next check. That's all right. Yeah, for you guys who did help out, you're rock stars. You're amazing. For those who don't, we get it. If you can't, I understand. Oh, water display. I got it. WD-40. I said the bear's slow. Trying to keep up with all the video chats. All right, guys, we're in an hour. I gotta make the Cubs some dinner here. They're sitting there. They're giving me the "We're starving, Daddy. We're starving." Would you use grease on ratchet spanners? You got me on that one. I have never greased a ratchet. So, I don't know. I've never gotten to the point where I needed one. Maybe I'm not understanding the question correctly. All right, guys. We got to run. Take care. Say it with me. Shine on. Dessert. And hey, and guys, if you get a chance, check out SV Zingaro. I can't put a link in right now, but I'll put a link later after the whole chat processes and YouTube updates it. But if you do a search for SV Zingaro, heck, you may, I don't know, if you do a search for Sharky McSharkface, you may find it. All right, guys, the bear's out of here. Take care, be safe, and be sure to check back tomorrow. I'm going to do that quickie, video for the 3-day parking lot sale. Take care.